All right, on to the next. Well, here's the Old World Santa. Good time to kind of adjust my lighting and all this and that. It's morning here, the next day. And one of the things I wanted to bring up is from my last videos that I noticed that where I place the information to the whittling shack, and where I place it's kind of hard for me to walk and chew gum at the same time while I'm reaching here. But anyways, I put the websites where you can get to these places throughout my video, because I try to say this is where I get it from, and then when I get back to the video I'm trying to find where I said that, and so I'm going to give the shout outs kind of right away and throughout the video. Anyways, so we're moving right along. What we're going to do today is Mrs. Old World Santa. And the difference between the two, the Mrs. Ho 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 Santa Claus and the Old World Mrs. Santa, Mrs. Old World is she's not going to have as much cheek. Now this one here, I did have quite a bit of cheek in there, and I'm going to do a different face technique. I still want to have some cheeks, because the younger ladies, they do have cheeks. And so I'll put those aside. I'll kind of keep him out before we get started. The usual. I have my OCC tea knives. I got my rough out knife and my Scout. I have mentioned before how I love this knife, and you will too. And then I have my round tools and V tools from Stubai, which I get from Chris Willock at the Whittling Shack. Information there. And as a matter of fact, I neglected to see if this is still good. Just in case, willlockwoodcarving.com. There's the phone number if you want to give them a call. There we are. And of course, I got my number 5 wide chisel for roughing out. And the thing is, I also want to bring, just for the heck of it, for beginning wood carvers, especially when it comes to purchasing knives, there are some that are out there that actually use the box cutter knife. And the problem with the box cutting knife is that it's good. What you got to do is you have to grind down. You can't just take it right out of the package and start carving. You have to sharpen it. The thing is, it makes a good rough out knife if you really sharpen it. It's nice and sharp there. The problem is you can't turn the blade like you can with a narrower blade. Obviously, because it's being thicker, you can't turn it. And in order to do that, is you have to use the tip. Can I get that out of there without causing any more problems? I don't want to try it. But if you try to turn it, well, it's pretty decent here. But if you sharpen it, look at that, it's still nice and clean. Look how. The thing that I talk about knife sharpening, and let's see if I can do this. What makes a sharp knife is, of course, you put the knife, after you sharpen it, see if it's sharpened, you put the knife into the wood, and it should cut like plastic, like you're cutting plastic. And it should, I don't know if I could do that. You could see almost a reflection right there. Anyways, we are going to do Mrs. Old World. And I got the cutout here I cut. It's really not particularly cut out to show you, but it's again, this is a little smaller. Now, you'll notice some dents in here. This was a project and it didn't turn out as well as I wanted to. So, and again, I need to widen while I do the roughing out. And again, this is shorter. And if you could see where I'll have to check the marks. This is from the goof up I did, and I'll find out it probably is right. So there's the eye here. So the eye is lower, the nose is lower. She's a shorter person, but we will give it a try. And of course, if you see this video, that means it worked, because I was making a video on this one and it didn't work. So there you are. Now let me kind of make some adjustments here. This is, as I mentioned, this is morning. How far can I get down and get some light? We got a lot of shadowing. Let me see if I can. I actually am trying to adjust the barrier here so we don't get too much light. We want ambient light, but not direct sunlight, because it causes shadows. And I did update my lighting system from the last few videos before I started these 4. And so it should, my favorite word, be a little bit better. Is that in the way? What's in the way here? Oh, glove. Oh, the knife. Okay. All right, let's get started. I did smooth things out a bit. This is a little smaller, it's going to come out. It's going to be a little narrower, almost the same size. Like I said, it's morning, and I believe I've already woken up, so hopefully I won't be clearing my throat out too much. So, I was going to check, make sure from here, I'm sorry, I want a pencil, not my knife. So again, kind of thinking maybe where the nose, and then you want where the hood comes back, because the head is actually going to be here in a little bit. Then from here to here, that's where the chin's going to be. But I have the chin here. If I have the chin, let's go back here to here. So I am going to have to, let's take a look, compare. Nose, it's, because we got to remember there's more hair, more head, or top of the head from here to here. It's supposed to be the same from here to about here, here to about here. So yeah, I got some extra hair and hood coming up because I did. I think I got too much hair on him. I might come back on him. The hair should be back farther, because especially when the hood comes down, that's going to push the hair down. But I'll come back to him later. So let's get started. I'm going to start I'm going to keep all of this. Maybe a little bit, if I bring this up a little bit. Just bring it up a little bit. Therefore, the shoulder, the shoulder will be about here-ish. So the shoulder is about, now if she's, like I said, if it's a younger lady, you'd have a longer neck. So it's about here. Again, this is like all of this is just gonna, I'm gonna just bend, it's gotta bend up a little bit from the shoulder, up. Oops. I was looking at the shoulder as I was drawing and the pencil went off. So she'll have somewhat of a neck. She's going to be still an older lady, but we're not going to have her as too much like this. Well, this is not bad. But like I said, we're going to have less cheek. some more nose. And so therefore we were going to have, so the thing that's interesting, since she's a lady, if I'm going to keep that eye line, and as I mentioned before, it's not terribly perfect where the eye should go, but you want to keep it when you, well, that's the problem. I see the problem. She should have a smaller nose. So then you got the nose, smaller nose, eye, and then she's going to have the cheeks are going to be kind of like this. Now if this is chin, there's the mouth is about here. I look at that. If I were to keep all of this, maybe raise the eyeball a little more, or the eye line, pardon me. Eye and nose line just a little bit more. Like I said, this is all, most all of this is going away. The purpose of this is to get a feel of what we're going to do. Mouth will be a little higher. There, like that. And then you got the hairline. Well, his sort of cheeks. Hairline, hair and hood line. And she's going to have the hair. Oops. And it's going to, this is going to continue on. There's not going to be an ear. So that's kind of a good thought, idea, possibility. But the eye line and the nose line we want to keep. It's kind of hard to draw a straight line when you're on a curvy piece of wood. All right, first thing I like to do is just take the corners off, and the corners have already taken off here. So in other words, if you started with a block of wood where it comes straight up and straight over, you can just kind of get the corners off. That's what I did here. So I kind of want to move along a little bit here. But I'm going to come up here is to take the saw marks off. And I'll try to take this off. So ignore this. I'm taking, you shouldn't have this mark here. Do not mark, do not do that. I'm going to take that out of there. In fact, I am going to use my chisel here. Get down to the shoulder, a little bit of turn on the shoulder. I also want to leave some wood around here. I'm hoping to get some hair coming out. Now I'm going to have the hair just coming out like this, like how you see it. You could braid it. I probably will do another project with a braid in where she will have the braid. But moving right along, I'm going to have this hood probably not as sharp as his hood, as the Mister's hood is. I mean, there's going to be a little bit of point to it, but not. So let's pretend that was never there. There. Round this a little bit. Just a little bit. We'll get more into it later. This is sort of like getting started. I know I got a lot of it started from this last project. If you want to stop the video and catch up. Take a little bit of this off. And pretend that was never there. Okay. What we're going to do, oh, it's still a little bit of a point. Not too much of a point. Okay, just bring this back at a point a little bit. Just a little bit, just to give it a scoop or two. And we'll come back to the back later. Okay, like I did before, of course yours would be more sharper, a little bit off here, so I'm going to do this with the hood like we did before. I'm going to come up to about here. That's going this way. Now I want the hood to come back this way as far as here. So in other words, we want some face coming out. Here we want some hood showing. Same thing on this side. Ooh. That's one of the things I'm just kind of starting getting some drawing classes, videos, YouTube, to draw a little better. I'm more of a sketcher than a drawer. I mean, let's get that straight line in there, And you see how the sketches are always, weird, instead of just simply doing a straight line. Some can do that. I'd like to get to that point. But sketching, to me, I know, at least if I put the mark down, I know which one of those lines I want. And it's hard to tell, to give that to you, for you to figure out where that line should be. So I got to get straighter lines. So, excuse me. Like it said, it's morning. Morning has risen. And hopefully I won't clear my throat out too much. Okay, I'm going to come in with my L tool. In other words, I'm going to away from the hood towards the face. Away from the hood towards the face. I'm going to keep a little bit of it like this. Away from the hood towards the face. Now I'm going to go flat here. I'm going to get into this line here. And this is just starting to somewhat commit to what we're doing here. Same here, towards the hood, away from the hood towards the face, pardon me. It's a little better. I think what we're lacking is on this side here, away from the hood towards, well, where the hair is going to be. Whoops. go in a different direction, kind of clean it a little bit as we go. And we shall, here when I want to do this, let's put this in right now, just in case, again, if we get a little whack happy. Now I like how she's showing some neck. She's going to show some neck. And then she's just going to have something on. There's, I just got something on. And then I want to make sure that I save some hair here, just in case if I get whack happy. And the hair is going to come down like this. Now that's not particularly close to what, but at least I got something penciled there just in case if I get carried away. Now, again, I think we can use the knife, and we want to make this come to a point. Doesn't have to be quite as sharp. Get out of there. Kind of clean this a little bit. Straight down. Watch the thumb. Use as much as the edge as we can. Now we got it started. Got too much knife in there. Well, I'll have to come back to that. I'm going to continue the roughing out stage. I got basically all those extra marks off. Just a little bit. We'll come back to it when it's time to clean. Watch the thumb. Where are we? Again, I'm sorry that this is wide. I wonder if I can narrow it just a little bit. Just a little bit. Nope, the other way. Just a little bit, and hopefully I don't get too far off. All right, one more scoop here. One more good scoop here. And we take the pencil. Remember that eye line. And there's the nose. Now here's what I'm going to do. Let's get this here. Just a little bit there. I am going to put the chin line in first. Just a little bit here, just to get... And I'm going to do the outside first. I think I've, excuse me, I've done that with the rest, but I want to kind of commit to the outside figure first, and then I'm going to do the face differently than I did with the other Mrs. Claus. I'm going to take one of my round tools, again 11. Just getting started here. Be careful not to be too... Here's where the hair is going to be. I guess I got a little too wacky there. Keep that going. Here, I'll do this. away from the face towards the hair. I'm going to see if that'll clean up a little bit here. That's going to have like a V here. I'll just get the hair in just to make sure I don't get too whack happy with that either. All right. Let's just get the hair in. Away from the hair towards the figure. Turn in. Away from the hair. Whoops, the other way. Away from the hair towards the figure, towards the chest. Just kind of beginning to make sure we don't get carried away. Because the next thing, as I have mentioned with the misses and all, also with the other figures you do, like Native Americans and men that don't have beard, is remembering that this part is the lowest part. So I want to take my V and just get that started. Use the flat edge just to get this started. Flat edge over on this side to get this started. Oops. Be careful you don't bury the edges. That's okay because there's still more to dig anyways. Now I'm going to bring out my number 5. It's about, I don't know, what is that, about 6 mil, and just start pulling this out. And again, the thing that's interesting is how, again, this is a face study, and we spend a lot of time getting the figure going. It just shows how the face interacts with the rest of the figure. Now we got chin, making sure I'm still in. I want to go as straight down as I can, and then now come at an angle away from that. And this is really getting hacky. I like to get a lot of wood out of the way, basically as soon as possible, when we're at especially when we're at the rough out stage. Now I got my number 11. Then I want to come down using the edge. I think I can use my number 5 rough out chisel. Clean it up a bit. Oh, where do I put my little number 5? There he, there he is. So I just want to sort of somewhat commit to the chin and the neck a little bit. I'll get back to straighten it out later, but at least I'm kind of committing to something here. Where's my V? Can I just clean some of that up? Nope. I'm gonna have to use different tools to clean that up. This way I want to get to the chin, then the neck. I neglected to find out or refigure what that's called here, the bone here. Again, if you get onto Wood Carving Academy, one that will really tell you is Dave Stetson, and he gets right into drawing in the face and everything. Whatever he's carving, we got the face, we got everything. Now I want to fix this here just a little bit so I can just get my bearings. Clean this. Now I don't want to take out any of the hair. I'm trying to see how I can get the hair in there. Now it's the same with the face. I want to cut into the face up to the hair top. And I take one of my smaller round tools, 11, just to clean it up a bit. And it's gonna, might as well go straight to it like I did with the Old World Santa. Let's go a little deeper. A little deeper. Okay, so we're getting kind of started here. Same with on the other side. What did we do? We took and just get as close to the hood as we can. We don't want to get it too thin. And I just want it to come straight down, almost straight down, just about a 10-degree angle so you can get a chip out of there. Now same thing here. Straight down. And then straight in. Oops, get out of there. I think I might need a little more on this side, just a little bit more. Now her face is probably a little, no, not that much more thinner than his. I don't want to use the terminology, the little lady, but in this case, we want the female, if you're going to compare it to the male, in other words, they're going to be together, I still want the female face a little smaller, the female figure a little smaller, and so on. Trying to take some of this off. A little careful we don't get into the face with the tip. Time to get the little chisel out. Is that the one I had? I don't think I had the other one. Here, let me start this then. Can I get in there with this one? I don't want to narrow that face anymore. I think the face got a little too narrow, but I think it's still good for him. And of course, if she was by herself, this would be fine. This would be great. The thing is I am trying to pair up two carvings, just like I did with the Mr. and Mrs. Ho 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 Santa, North Pole Santa. I still want to make sure that we got this right. All right, here's the thing. No, I'm going to do this first. I'm going to do one thing first. I'm going to do up to, I'm going to leave the nose. Well, no. I'm sorry. I'm going to do just a little bit of the nose away from the nose. This is at an angle. We'll start here. And then we're going to take just a little bit off. Same with the nose and the forehead. Oops, careful I don't cut into the hair, the side hair. You're going to come up. Oops, make sure I don't lose that eye line. Let's round this just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then I want to just sweep the nose a little bit. We're not going to do the eyes first. I'm going to do the nose first. Oops. So we're just starting to see that profile. It's just starting to, just a little more. Bend to it. What does it take? Where's my scout? Is a thinner knife. Scoop. Scoop-a-doo. See, we're starting to get the profile. Always check that profile. Now I want to do the same thing here. I am going to watch probably somewhere in between. I don't want it too sharp. I don't want it too narrow. Just about. I think it's time to zoom in a little bit here. No, zoom in. Whatever the angle that is, about a 25-degree angle, and then come back here. Again, kind of committing to the eye. She'll have some cheek. Angle like this. And we don't want it to be too sharp here. Watch burying the knife or the tip. Get out of there. Profile. Now the thing I am going to do that's different. First I want to do this. One more thing before I do what is different. I want to put this line in. And I'll put this line in. Just to get something else started before we do the different thing. Straight down. I really like this knife. It's more control once you're done or almost done with your roughing out. So nothing wrong with my rough out knife. It just well, that was straight down. Hopefully that was straight down. Oh, there we go. Again, I keep forgetting about the zooming in. Okay, this is what I'm going to do different. It's based on this little, let's say, go by step. And who the heck is this? There is no marks on it. Other than SC SC057, or if that's a 5. SC057 for $19.95, which was, oh, I got this about 10 years ago. Oh, here we go. HG. Harold Guttenheimer. I don't know. This is what I'm going to kind of go by. This right here, not so much the eyes, but this here, if you look at the profile, or you look for underneath, is I want to develop this first in creating this cone. Now this particular character here has sort of this beak or bill or whatever you want to call it. I don't think I want her to have that much of a lip, but I want more lip than I did with the misses. And according to this, it's going to be about right up here, nose and mouth. Nose and mouth. Get that center line back in there. That belongs. And I want to start with a wider tool, work my way in. Because I think the wider tool is probably going to be enough. And I just want to get in there. And I'm creating, watch the green. I think this might be enough. I've done this several times. It depends on what size. We still have enough wood for the cheek. And so what I want to do is take my number 5 or the knife and just kind of clean this a little bit. Clean this a little bit. This just a little bit. My end. This a little bit, just to make it a little more, take the sharpness of the roundness out of there. And now we're starting to build the cone of the face. And I think according to him or her, we may need to go a little deeper in the well here. A smaller tool. Let's do that again. The major thing is we're building the cone of the nose, or cone of the mouth and the nose at the same time. I've done this before. I've been pretty happy with it. Because the thing is, we need to start with that cone, the mouth cone. That was one of the things I've been doing wrong, is I've been just getting in there with the lips and not realizing that I need to get this cone going. Rounder tool or flatter tool. And according to this, it just you keep going down. Maybe you can use a knife on this. Here, let's see if my, I think this is number 5, so I want to get this to go down, 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 down. There we go. Now, according to this, we want to round the face a little more. Around the chin a little more, I'm sorry. And she is going to, an old world Santa and Mrs. Santa, she is going to be a Northern European style face, probably Scandinavian. So it's going to be a little bit of squareness of the jaw. This is going to go straight down until we hit to this area right here. Hopefully we won't get to that. Oops, I cut a little too much. Get out of there. Oh, don't pry here with your knife. You'll lose your... That's supposed to have been a quick, simple cut. Let's get the brush out. See if that'll help. But you can see we're on our way to really making this look like a female. And we're just going to have to work with the chips later. Same with over here. It depends on how much hair you want coming out to make sure that it isn't going to be a pain in the neck and prevent us from getting things done. And I want to put in, there's the neck right there. And I still want to put in maybe a little bit of this. I am not sure what she's going to wear. In fact, I came to that conclusion here too. Look up the internet and see what kind you can get, a dress or whatever. And I'm going to try to smooth out some of the sharpness. Same with here. Careful. I don't want to take. I'll run it, or I'll smooth it out, but leaving some cheek, just a little bit here, and I think we might still need to go deeper. Oh, in fact, I did go. Let me see this here. Let's see, what did we do here? I think I need a little more. Where are you? Is this the one I used? I'm not sure if I did. I think I used, there you are. I'm more concerned about that mouth cone than I am with anything else. Everything else can be fixed or it could be shaped. I do want to leave a little bit of cheek. And don't bury that tip into that round part. All right, we'll be doing more of the adjustments later. And there's quite a bit of hack in there. Oh my goodness, what kind of way is this? In fact, I want to get my, no, here, let's get my really small round tool right here. Now this, of course, is where the neck and the shoulder will meet. And here's the, well, this might end up going away. So everything above this is skin. Below is not. All right, let's do a little bit of a check. I want to come back to the eyes. The mouth is looking pretty decent for now. Now, as I have said, where's our eye line? I think we're going to have to, I think our eye line got a little too low here. I might want to commit to this before I bring my round tool. There we go. The other thing too is she is going to have, I mean, not right now, but she's going to have wider eyes than the misters. Oop. I'll have to, oh geez, that's scraping. I'll have to come back. All right, where's my big round? Here's my second biggest round. Third biggest, there he is. Let's come around. This time in the eye line. The other one I wanted to misses, I wanted to make sure there's enough cheek, but here it's like, yeah, I want enough cheek, but let's put a little in the hair there just to make sure we don't lose it. Now the nose is going to go like a little bit like this. And instead of a knife, I'll use my maybe third smallest. In. And come back. In. Here. In. Come back in. So that just kind of get us to feel where the nose and everything is. That's kind of interesting. I mean, I hate to say this. See what I'm doing right here, taking these little chips off, which doesn't matter much to me if I was doing this by myself, but I just wanted to do this step by step. She's starting to look pretty decent. She's starting to get there. Now what's going to help the cone a little bit is I want to take this off. And it's going to go at an angle this way. And it's going to go an angle away from the mouth. Same here, away from the mouth. Make sure I don't bury that tip. I probably will. If I do, I can re-clean it. And now I take this off. That's going to bug in me. Getting there. I think we may have a lot of cheek there, but we'll go with that for a while. Okay. Now I want to, I hate to say this, leave this and get back to so I'm just rounding this a little bit. We're going to really come back in with the smaller round tool like we did with the others. And come back to doing some more roughing out, because like I said, once we get the face is done and then we start grabbing a hold and doing some heavy roughing out, then what happens is that we might break something. But here we are thus far. Let's see, to show you how far we got when you get some chips and garbage in the way there. Or the boogers or whatever. This, like this. Look at the face. Let's see, will this help? Of course, we got too much shadow. And I did a little shutdown. First thing I realized if I'm going to rough things out here, I want to get commit the bust portion of this. Make sure I get that cut out. The second thing too is I thought this would be a good time to upload the video I have now, so as not to enter if it gets too full, and also charge the battery too, so we can just move right along. Now I want to get back into. Get my rough out knife. Here, I suppose I should have. Gives us a few swipes before I. Thing I like about this Flex Cuts little board here for stropping. I've even gone on the other side here because there's a little more stiffness to it. You want to put a little extra edge on it. And again, when you strop it, you lay that knife flat, because as you push down, it'll come up. The velvet, the leather, kind of very velvety kind of thing will come up. Oh, I just haven't done this in a while for this guy, so even though, well, we're done. Look at that, that still cuts really nice. Look how nice that cuts. Of course, the only difference is between here and a knife, other than, like I said, it doesn't turn very well, is that you have to sharpen it more often, because it's not a perfect piece of metal. And the other thing too is sometimes this scrapes onto your carving, so that's not that cool anyways. But it's still, if you're beginning wood carving and you do not want to spend all that money on your first knife just to find out if you're going to like it or not. So I'm cutting a little more. That last of that mark there. Oops. And I'm just rounding things off a little more. Might as well use this blade while it's still sharp. This is not to put too much of a stress on my other knife. All right. And I still could do some detail. Do the same thing, you put the flat or the sharp edge, and you get a nice clean cut. Except for this up here, it didn't go all the way. Still a nice clean cut. That's the clean cut you want to keep doing. It does handle a little differently than a knife. The handle's a bit different. I was also thinking about what to do here. I'm leaving this as a little bump. You should have this more concave, of course. But I was thinking, it depends on what you want to do, is if you want to either put like some kind of round amulet, how big, how small. I'm not going to do anything. Or you can have a large cross. All kinds of things. Like I said, she's European style. You can just about anything there. Let's round this off a little bit while we're at it here. I'm going to leave this as thick as possible. You can always thin it. And like I said, I am not going to, it would be great if this was braided, but I'm not going to do that at this video. Just regular hair is what we got. I wonder how well this does here. Only for a little bit. Well, I guess maybe I could use it for here. And again, as I said, this is Minnesota winter, therefore it's a lot of static. It makes a pretty decent rough-out knife. I'll come back a little later here. Remember, I want a little bit of roundness here. Bend it a little bit. Same with here. You may or may not, depends on how much of that hair you want to keep. Same over here. Let's clean this up. I buried the tip there. See, it doesn't turn very well. come back later with a chisel. A little bit of roundness, just a little bit. Same here on this side here. You can see it cuts really good. Well, like any other knife or chisel, is that if you sharpen it the right way it's supposed to be sharpened. A little bit around this, just a little bit here. Okay, what I want to do with this, good, take care of that, mostly. Where is my large? There you are. Because I do want to have a little bit of concaveness going on here. Of course, I could have just went straight with this tool, but I just wanted to show you how that box cutter knife, if you sharpen it right, and of course you take care of it, the edge will last pretty long. You know, be careful about scraping, and same here, just I want to put that bend in, that concaveness in. I gotta watch out, this thing's got a black mark at the bottom. Concave it a little bit, same here. And again with the, I'm going to leave that a little bit there because I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that. The next rough thing I want to do, and I'm glad I did take care of, I think I did take care of, let's use my Scout. I mean, I can come back a little bit. I can do some adjustments just after I do the face. It's just that a little bit of turn here. A good turn here. Is that I can do a little bit of adjustment after the face because since I got most of it done, I won't be doing a lot of bearing down. I did the same thing here as we wanted to bend this. So she's the back is fine. A little bit of cleaning here, and I think I'll probably again clean this up when I can. Now I want to get this straight. Am I zoomed in pretty good? All right. Now the good thing about having the hair in the way, and of course the hood in the way, we won't have an ear. But what happens is, let me see, if it wasn't for the hood and the hair, the ear would be about here. And what happens is that the jaw will come up to that ear right there. And I think we're okay. I just want to clean it more like anything else. So I want to go down and then an angle. A lot of cleanup later. Same with here. Down and then an angle. I want to get rid of, like I want this as a border. I might have to come back with another tool. You know what? Let's do that right now. Here's my second largest. And I'm going to use, I can probably start zooming in a little bit. I'm going to use the edge almost as a straight edge to go along. And then I want this here. Make sure this is the flattest, there's a deepest, pardon me. And then use this. Flat tool to get some of this out of there. And again, we'll come back a little later. But that is kind of a little, take those little pieces out of there. It is kind of a little distracting. Especially when we get into more detailing, finalizing. I'd like to get all that out of there as much as we can. Okay, now I did not do this. I did this side. I guess I got kind of distracted, intercepted, and a little bit of roundness here. Careful, as much flat edges as you can use. Not only will it give you a cleaner cut, not a, if you did it right, it'll be a clean cut. But just so I don't get into the face if I have to round the face a little bit. Same here, just a little bit. Get that, don't put that tip in her face. And we'll be doing some more detailing too as far as this. I think I got that. That's pretty deep as is. Get that out of there. Now, one of the things I neglected to mention I did during the cleanup of the last is I did this. Instead of straight down, I came at an angle. So it would open up more. It would open this way instead of going straight down. It opens up, kind of butterflies out. I don't know if that's the best way to put it. So I can either wait till then or do a little bit of that. I haven't done it thus far yet. I want to finish this because I want to start getting into the face. Yeah, I think I could start getting into the face now. What I want to do is round, make sure things are round. Where's one of my round tools here? Is I want to finish this. This cut comes around and gets the temple. And we want a round temple because when we do the, let's fix it so I can show you, is when you get this let me see if I can do this. It's a 45-degree angle. We want this. I think that cheek is going to come down a little more. And since she's kind of a more healthier woman, a thinner woman, this would be more in an arch going in, a concave going in. I'm going to kind of leave that for now. All right, same with on this side. Excuse me, bring this down. All right, the eye is getting, let me clean this. At the same time, I can take this off. I mean, she could be have a little bit of a cheek, or quite a bit of cheek if we want to. All right. Now I am going to take, where is he? This tool, the pencil, mechanical pencil, it's always sharp. Its eyes are up just a little bit. And that's what I want to do is that. Get the eye in, eye line back in. Any other little adjustment, we'll adjust later. As I'll put in, oh no, before we do that, before we put the eye in, I want my, where's my, here we go, I'm in the littlest tool, littlest round tool. I gotta make sure, am I getting close here, I'm getting off. And I want to get in here with this tool. In. My little round. In. When you get to the eye line, we're straight down. Don't want to get into the nose. Sometimes I do that. Twist a little bit. Twist a little bit to try to get this as clean as possible. Make sure both are as deep as they should be. All right, now I want to take the nose, and we put the flap in for the nostril. And the way we're going to do that is my scout at an angle like this, not straight down. You do straight down with the Santa. And careful, we don't want to get too much of that blade into the roundness. We don't want the tip to get into the roundness. Now I gotta push this way a little bit. Is this in the way? No. I'm just going to round this. Oh, I got distracted, sorry. Away from and a little roundness. And the nose in the top. All right, getting there. Now this time, instead of pretending to know where the eye is, that'll get cleaned out as I get the eyes going. Where is a, I wonder if this would work. I've got one of these, if I can find it. Here it is. Although I don't believe in sandpaper, but I think if you use a chisel, maybe just to get that out of there, just so we can move on. One of these weird chisels. Hopefully get some of that out of there. Okay, so the eye is here. Where are we here? Let's do a little zoom. Eye is here. The eye is here. Because there's the center line. We'll have to fix the nose a little bit. There's the eye there. I'll put the eye here because in the distance between these two would be here. Here would be here. And the eyeball will be here and here, which means we're going to come down. There's where the mouth is going to be. And she's going to have a smile. Now when I bring this in, it'll help cone the mouth a little more. I'm going to use my second largest. And that's going to make that cone even bigger. Mind the direction of the grain. So I took that off. Let's do this again here. Now, if she has a big smile, the whiter it's going to get. So I do want to get as white as we can with it being reasonable. Now the smile, even if it's a smile, we want it straight, because what's going to happen is, I wonder if we can do, I'm going to see if I can think about putting teeth in this time, in which the goes around. Now I'm going to look at it this way, look at it this way. There's the eye. Okay, first thing I want to do, check out, is I'm going to take my number, my scout, and just firm away from. There is yet another version of doing this. I'm going to practice more. Sometimes is you just go in there and you take your V tool or a round tool and you go in there right on that mouth line and it'll bring the lips out. I don't want to do that right now because I want to practice on that before I throw that at you. And we remember is that everything is going to come to that point. Now I want to take, she's a little lippy at the bottom. Not making the cone go away too much. And if I have to redo it, get a round tool and get some depth to it. Because what we want to do is we want to see the smile from the profile. Where are we? Right there. I think we want more light this way. There. That's where we are so far. The lip might still be a little too big. Because sometimes I would like to get right up there, just like we did to the eye, and then come down. That's a little better. Oops, like I said, a little more light this way. Now, like I said, I'm going to experiment with, and like I said too, this is where we're going to come to that point. I'm going to get some teeth in there this time. And I'll mention, if I forget, I'm going to mention, if you want to practice on doing female faces, is you should do some Mrs. Claus, because Mrs. Claus is not I want to say young. It's a Mrs. sort of like middle age women, and work your way up or down in age once you get the hang of it, because it is one thing about the ladies is that if there's a slip of the knife, even just the slightest, it just ruins it. Now, being that this is the upper jaw, or not upper jaw, above the jaw. So what's going to happen is it's going to be just like we do with the eyeball. Do this, and we do this, and we do this, and we do this, and then we round it. Oh, I didn't take them out yet. My sharper. Is this the one? Where'd it go? Is this it? I think this is it. And the thing that's going to be interesting is a lot of that cheek is going to, all this is going to, remember, it's going to go get deeper. And we got to do this one step at a time. I'm getting to the point where basically it isn't when it comes to the female face. You just don't, you cut here, you cut there, and it's done. I mean, there's a lot of adjusting and adjusting and adjusting and adjusting. I think the more and more I get, the less knife marks I can make. Less knife and tool swipes. Okay, we're going to pencil in this time the lips. We want the lips to go. Let's look at her lips. I mean, it's like too much, too pointy. But that's what we want to go, something like that. Because you can see on this, here's the eye here, and it should come all the way out. So this is more of a younger female face. And so that's why by putting all of this stuff in first to here, here, to here. Let's get my third smallest and just, I want to keep the lip, but below the lip. And below the lip. My 11, smaller 11. Now we're getting there as far as the profile. Is we got to do some deepening. Now with that, I want to leave that for now, with the exception of, I want to round this here a little bit. Because as she smiles, the lip is being pulled, and therefore we're losing the nice round lipness. And I think we're going to have to go deeper with the teeth. And again, it's just like adjusting. I mean, if I do like 1,000 of these, then I can just boom right in there. But I want to just show, that was one of the things that some of my videos, and you think, well, you're not really prepared. And that's not the point. Well, yeah, I should be prepared. I should. But a lot of times I'm kind of learning on my own, and I'm more like showing you how I'm learning. And you can be part of my learning process as you learn too. And as I have mentioned that all my older videos I'm going to turn around and get rid of, do them again. Who knows, probably about 10, 15 years from now, I'll do this all over again. And I go, you just swipe here, you just swipe here. But I thought in the meantime, get you going. Now this goes, no, here, Now I'm going to come back to the nose a little bit. The reason why is I want to get the upper lip. And I am going to use the knife. I hate to say it. This is the sharpest part. Even on this, you can see the nose and the cheek how sharp, where the nose nostril meets the cheek. It is sharp. Oops. Upside down. Might be a little too wide. Now what I want to do, I might end up, I don't want to have too much knife marks. I want to bring out another tool. This is like a large overboard, but the tip is what I want, I think. No, I'm not. This thing looks like it's going to whack off a lot, but that's not what I want to do. I want this round part here. And of course, being not only be nice and sharp, number one, but being rounded there. And I want to make sure I don't put that tip in the round part. I can still come back, I suppose. That's one of the ways I've been doing this, is use the knife and then come back with the chisel and make it nice after the knife marks. A lot of people have more control with the knife. Because I'm going to kind of bury this right here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to come, where are you? I'm coming down deep-ish, and then come back and meet, whoops, careful, don't have to take too much of that cheek off. I don't want to meet that. Same here. Come and just look deep here. All right. Here we go. Now the lips are always the most difficult. One of the things that would help, let's bring this at an angle. Like I said, if you use the V to start with, but I'm gonna practice on that first before I show you. So I want it high here, the lips high in the middle, and low. I'm gonna have to come back with the teeth later. Kind of a scoop, concave. Now as she smiles, the lips, I almost want to leave it as is. Let me see if I can do it with this knife here. And just a little bit of scoop it a little bit, leave a little bit of meat there on the upper lip. I guess I don't go a little deep here. And I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do in when I detail, and I'll come back. Just deep. And the teeth is going to have to go in a little more. But I need to get my visor on. And you know what happens when I put my visor on is that I will bump into the camera. Overhead, I want to take this off here. And there's more of the bottom lip that comes up and disappears into the, and I think hopefully I've achieved that, where it just kind of disappears. Now I want to make sure, another thing I want to make sure is the cheek. Now the cheek has got to come up some more. There, she's coming out. This cheek has got to round a little more here. Oh, careful. Now there's a lot of this and that and cleaning up. Yes, that one's my second small. Well, let's get my huge tool in here. See if that cleaning up will help. Which actually, one side it did. Let me see if I can get my smaller 11. And again, I'm going to come back and clean up better instead of wasting your time picking. Because that's what I do. There's a lot of picking. Now if I do this, the left cheek, or our left, might be a little, some straightening out. Let's do a little bit with the nose. Where's my scout? I still want to bow this nose a little bit. A little bit more. Put a little bit this to it. And again, there's just all kinds of adjustments of here, there, and everywhere. It seems that as soon as I clean it up, then I realize I gotta go deeper. So don't mind the pickings part. I'll get to it. A little bit more here and a little. There we go. Let's go on the other side here. And the nose is going to have to be doing some picking on the nose. Nose picking. A little bit of roundness here. One of the things I neglected to do in the rough out here, of course, is the top of the hair. Where's my rough out knife? See, I hope we don't have, here, let's do this. Here's the thus far, just in case if I have a slip of the knife and take half of that off, but so therefore I want to bring this up just a little bit. Now you can see that that hair is a little too high. I'm going to just clean this a little bit here. Watch the thumb. All right. The hood, I might have gotten a little too carried away with the hood here. Some of that hair off, more of that hair off. And kind of like what I did, where is he? I did his hair, went to the side like that. I wonder if we can do the same thing. Should be using my Scout right now. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Now, like I said, is I want to bend this a little bit, just a little bit here. And widen it just a little bit here. And bend this. I'm looking up, making sure I'm in that, and I thought I saw a message. Maybe somebody's trying to call me. I hope it isn't something's happening that I don't want to happen. And now with that, I can take a little bit bit more off. Same with here, more like cleaning up the hair a little bit here, as well as taking a little bit more off. And okay, there's the ruff. I think the best thing to do, well, first I'm going to get the hair, and then I'm going to come back and do the eyes, and I think that would pretty well finish it. Where's my largest? And I want to kind of bring more longer strips, or passes. The thing is, I want to be careful as I don't slip and hit that nose and chin and cheeks and bring this in over here. And I'll go a little later if I want to do a little more detail. Well, I'll do, where's my second? Here's my third smallest. Because I want to come up over here, make sure it gets in here. A little more coarse here. Here. I guess I do like it a little more coarse. Or less coarse. Coarse means wider, pardon me. And bring this around and around. In here, in here. Wrong direction, watch the grain. Get too much tools out, too many tools out. And it's a matter of picking. I want to get to the eyes. I think before I get to the eyes, am I good with the neck? I think I'm relatively good with everything else, basically. I mean, there's a lot of cleaning up. I think better just leave it alone. All right. The neck a little more in. Where are you? While I'm doing this, and there's the chatter. So you want a little more down with the neck there. That's a little better, maybe a little bit here. A little bit around this. Okay, last one. Now I'm going to do the eyes, and with that, here comes the visor. And again, here comes the banging onto it, the visor. So because with that, now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to carve right here like this. Therefore here, maybe just a little more in. So tell me if I get off course here. Okay. I'm going to come up. Bring up, around, kind of flatten a bit. I'm going to see if I can use this knife to start with. Sorry, I bumped. Look up. All right. This little twist right here and up. Yeah, I think I might be okay. And down. Here. I hope that's okay. Now I want to cut up too. Okay. There we go. You can almost stop like right there. She's just a nice little happy face. So here's the thing I want to do different. This is the first time I've done this, so I hope I don't screw it up. Remember, I do the bottom eye and then I do this. What would happen if I did the scoop first? Almost to the point that you can leave it just like that. That's now the problem here is I took out the eye line, and I'm hoping that the top eyelid is enough. Oh, while I'm here, I'll do that. Sorry. That's what I do when I see something that right. Now, how does this look before I move on? As far as all different angles. Again, it's always good to show a lot here before. Yeah, that hair is going to come down when I do detailing. That hair is going to come down. Let's see how he has the eyes. Now it would almost straight across. She was kind of up. I think maybe I should have been a little more higher. But just a simple eye is going to come here. Simple eye, it's going to come to here. Well, I like this side, but I don't like this side. I think I might lift this just a little bit more and then down. All right. Now, away from the cheek into the eye. Okay, now away from the cheek into the eye, and then we do the little oomph. Take that out of there. Now, yeah, I'm glad I did round that. I think I'm going to do that from now on. Round the cheek, round the below the eyelid, below the lower eyelid. I think I still have to come in, and that takes a lot. Now I'm not sure if we are, there's one eye, and I think this eye is a little down here. Where this eye is a little too high, I'm going to have to come down. So hopefully the two will meet. This will have to come up just a little bit to meet. Again, rounding the ball. All right, like I said, I got this knife. Well, I got the knife. There. Same with on this side. Let's clean that a little bit. Fix the eye a little bit more. And there's a lot of adjusting and picking and thising and thating. And now we're doing a little bit here. Forehead is a little higher here before I start finishing the eye. And then this needs to come down a little bit. The hair is in the way here. This here is in the way. Again, I'm just adjusting. I shouldn't be adjusting. Okay. There we go. Now I take my small, this time it's a tinier V. I have a smaller V for the mister. Oh, is that, no, what are you doing? Where did he come from? No, get out of there. I want a tiny V. Where's my brush? Now I can't hardly see. Got the visor on. And again, there is so, especially around the cheeks there. One cheek is higher than the other. It just, again, it's just a matter of, and you're just going to barely kiss. All right, I am going to stop here. There is quite a bit of cleaning up. I am going to still do a little bit more of, sorry if this is out of the way, I got to do this here. I just simply round off. And just a little bit of a kissing of the let's say of the eyebrow bone. Now here's the deal when painting your eyebrow. It is generally the width of the eye to the width of the eye, so it's going to be, yeah, so that's perfect. And it's going to be about the width of the eye. Where are you? Right there. So it's something like that. I think I got this one too far. I need a little more here. And again, there's where I'm going to stop. And I'm going to clean. And again, look at how those, I love that. Do you see that shadow there? The separation between the hair. I got one over here. Look at the shadow right here. I love those little shadows. Nothing much in the back. Did I forget something? I don't know. I'll tell you after I clean it up. But there we're going to stop. I'm going to stop, like I said, stop here. And I'm going to come back with it all cleaned up. And again, there you are, just in case if I did have a slip on the knife. Now I think, let me see, you tell me, can you see the eyeball from the profile? Did I do like okay? Now the cheeks may be a bit too large. You know, it's up to you if you want to trim it. If you want to, if this is going to be a straight shirt, blouse, dress, whatever, you might want to take and just kind of concave this a little bit. But I have left a little extra just in case if you want to put something in there. I'm thinking if this was more of a Viking-ish woman, it would be more like she's got the dress comes down, it's like this. Here, let me take this out of here. See, she's got a shirt and then sort of like almost like a apron, and it's sort of like, you got to look it up, make sure I got it right. And then she's got like these round golden beads, badges that holds that up. That's kind of interesting. And then maybe you can do some all kinds of design. What's going to happen, what should have happened here is a little more of this. In other words, rounding. That's why I left that. Like I said, this is more of a face study. And so it's like whatever you want to put in there. I'll come back. I could probably do later on. I'll do like a Viking woman, bust, larger bust, you know, larger, come down a little more and have a little bit of and then probably have a shield and a sword. You know, think about that. Remind me that, just in case if I forget. Okay, there we are. Until I come back, all nice and clean. Continuing on is that this thing shut down on me, or actually a screen came up of actually underwear. I was doing a Santa in old underwear, the old combination underwear. Anyways, getting back to it is there you are. I didn't want to. She's Mrs. Claus and Mrs. Old World Santa, so she's got some, you know, she's a lady, you know, modesty, I wanted to say. So other than maybe if she's taking a dip, we really don't care to have a nude Mrs. Claus. But there you are. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to stay as close as I can to realism for the sake of learning the face and the figure and all that. And then later on I'll get more into caricature, but there's a little bit of caricature in there. But there she is. Oh, where's Mr. Where are you? So let's see. There's where it comes together at the bottom together. She's a little smaller. If I want to, I might come back. If I want to keep this as a couple, which I am, I might want to take a little bit of those cheeks off of his. I may or may not. I don't know. And if we put this here, you could see she is shorter, a little smaller. I got less round. What happened was I got too much of